What's up? How's it going?
What? Oh, it's great.
Yeah?
Great.
Yeah.
Sorry, it's been a bit of a faff, trying to get all this stuff set up and ready to go.
Dude, you should have your shit together. If we're like a lot of episodes into this, you should have your shit together.
I've been on set all weekend.
You should have your set like I do today, perfectly, right? I have got no microphone on the camera because I don't know where the microphone is.
We don't need one anyway.
I have no light because I can't find a cable for the light anywhere, or the batteries. So we're on daylight today. So
good. I'm glad you said that because basically I am as well. Because, well, I've got with these windows this side. It's just, luckily it's slightly overcast, so it doesn't look that bad. But yeah, basically it's got a reflector here and daylight there. So I think we're both winning.
There you go.
As it were. Oh, yeah. But yeah, how are you?
I'm good, thanks. I'm all right. Hello, everybody. How's it going? Welcome back to another episode of the Over and Out show. This is, well, it's very early in the morning here. As Ryan was so eagerly saying there, he's been away shooting on set all weekend, so we didn't get to record this episode the day it was supposed to be recorded. It's supposed to be out now.
I know.
And here we are recording it.
I can feel the anger of the internet right now.
Yeah, all four of you will be listening to this or watching this on Tuesday going, bro, wasn't it supposed to be out yesterday? But it's not. It's Tuesday. It's a Monday while we're recording it. Jesus Christ, which doesn't give us a lot of time for the next challenge. But here we are.
No. Yeah.
Second video. Second video is interesting, was it?
Well, yeah, if we can remember the title.
I lost my ... No, I can't find my. I can't find mine.
It was Dillon's choice, and he got it wrong.
Yeah, and I can't even remember. No, but I got it right though. I just kept calling it lost my. I thought I'd got it wrong with find because it was in my book and everything as find.
Yeah, see, I wrote it down. There you go. You can probably see that there. Yeah. I can't find mine. It even says topic above it, just in case. So, and yeah. Well, anyway, you can just go back and listen to the last episode where you clearly say it.
Yeah. So, anyway, I didn't get it wrong. The only time I got it wrong was when you and I talked about it on the phone after we'd uploaded. But actually in the video, it was correct. If you haven't seen the videos, there's links below to them. You can go and have a watch of the two videos before we get into the rest of this. Otherwise, it's a spoiler alert. But worst case scenario.
Pause this video now. Go watch them. Come back. And we'll carry on. Yeah. As if nothing's happened.
Yeah. Worst case, though, you just hear about some videos that two guys made on the internet that no one gives a toss about. So don't worry. Don't even stress yourself about it. Listen to this, then watch them for a week here. But look, challenge. How did you find last week's challenge? Time.
Didn't have a lot of time. Had a lot of work to do. And I'll be honest, the idea was, the first time we did a video, first time, the week before, I was almost like, I knew the idea straight away. You know how like when someone says something, you're like, I want to do this. Yeah. And then you just build it around that. With this one, I just didn't know what to do. And I sat on it for ages, just thinking. And, well, once you see the video, like, as you know, there's the last bit, the last shot, scene, whatever you want to call it. I'd been wanting to do that idea in a video for years. And then all of a sudden I thought, how do I put that into this video? And that was it, really. And then I just built it up to the end scene, which is
so everything was a means to that end bit.
Yeah, pretty much.
I think that's the way to build those kind of videos. What kills me is that's how I do Instagram stories, is like one stupid little thing. Actually, to be honest, that's how I did videos on YouTube last year, and then you just elaborate everything to get you to that one payoff. Yeah,
it's crazy, isn't it?
So you planned your whole video with the payoff of that car scene with the music?
Well, no, the whole video was about that car scene, and then I just panicked into shooting everything else.
Oh, right, yeah. Yeah, but I mean, like, you had that idea in your head first, and you were like, right, everything else just has to get
I've had that idea for years. I mean, it doesn't matter what song it is. I'd always wanted this thing of like, you're telling a story, and then you get into a car or you walk into a shop or something like that, and the song that's playing is relevant to the situation you're in.
Right.
If you know what I mean.
Yep.
So, yeah, I mean, that's basically what the idea was, and I'd wanted to do it in several like, you know, when you have dreams of, I'm going to make a movie one day, and that'll be like a little scene in it.
Yeah.
And then you never make the movie in Hollywood, so it ends up being on a YouTube video for a challenge on the OverAndOut show. So,
where it should be, exactly where it should be.
yeah,
You know?
exactly. I never need to do that idea again.
Don't get above your pay grade.
No. Well,
I thought it was
below.
good. I liked it.
Below.
I thought the payoff was good. I liked it. I thought it was
Yeah.
what I found quite interesting, because like for me, right, it was a very open-ended topic, and I had just scribbled it down randomly and then stuck it in, and I thought, like, it's so open-ended that we could kind of do whatever we wanted with it, which was true, but it made it super hard. And I think
that's a blessing and a curse, isn't it?
Yeah,
really.
yeah. And I think Ryan and I were definitely both in the same situation, in that we were busy, and I felt like the time disappeared really quickly, and then I got to like Monday evening and I was like, oh man, I need to do this, I must remember to do this video. And then Tuesday was gone, and I woke up on Wednesday and I was like, holy shit, this video needs to be on the internet tomorrow night at 7. And I was on a shoot all day Thursday, so I was like, how the hell am I supposed to do this?
Here's a question for you. How long did it take you to shoot yours and edit?
It took me about an hour and 15 minutes to shoot, and about an hour, probably the same. Probably about, I would say 2.5 hours in total to do.
Yeah. That's really interesting. Because mine, I think I shot for about 45 minutes and then edited probably for about an hour.
Yeah,
or so.
I reckon I probably would have had mine in under an hour shooting if it wasn't for one shot, and it's the shot of me getting into the box.
Which was masked really well.
Which is bodged beyond belief. Like, but the thing is, the bit where most people think it's masked, it's not masked. It's just a hard cut where the thing shuts.
Yeah.
But the masking, well, actually, no, that's a lie. There is a mask, because I split the screen and I come out somewhere else under the thing.
Yeah.
That, I mean, you can't even. But that mask's kind of irrelevant. That doesn't even play a part in it. There's another mask. I had to mask my foot out because it kept poking out the back of the box. But I just had to. Well, I did that take 27 times. I counted.
That was probably about 40 minutes of that hour.
Yeah, it was ridiculous. Like, it just kept cocking up. Like, I must have hit record maybe 7 times, and each time in that it was like 4 or 5 attempts in each record, and I was just like, oh my god, because it would, like, I'm not saying like a full take, sometimes it would be messing up the words, sometimes it would be messing up where I'm walking to, but then the amount of times I jumped into this box thing, dude, and was just like in the wrong place. One time there was no mic on at all, so you couldn't hear anything. It was a lot of that sort of stuff. But I definitely, when we came off that show last week, I was like, I think I'm going to do this around like the parent vibe and try to do it about the kids. So it was going to be this my initial idea was all about looking for the kids. You know, I can't find my kids and I've lost them somewhere. And then it was going to be this like big elaborate video of me walking all around Bangor looking for the kids, and then phoning Pamela, and it turns out she's actually had them all day and I just wasn't paying attention. But that became so much more difficult the more I thought about the shots and what I needed to do. And then when I got to Wednesday, I was like, I actually can't do this. I haven't got enough time. So then I thought, well, and I have to reiterate on the show here that the goal of this entire challenge for us is to make something and upload it. And it's just about having a bit of fun with it. It's about making videos for us, for each other, for our own entertainment. And it's the practice here is about making the video and uploading it, because like in every other thing in life, we have practice, you know? Like everything else, we're happy to practice. But when it comes to these sorts of things, when you're working in an industry, you find that it's like, I don't know about you, dude, but I am overcritical of everything I do. So I feel like nothing's good enough. Like I have honestly I was counting yesterday, about 6.5 videos shot and in folders on my computer for YouTube that I've just never edited, that I've never gone ahead and finished because I'm not happy with them. And I think like that is a huge concern for me. It annoys me, and I start to get overcritical of it. So I think for this we were like, look, it doesn't matter if the thing's 10 seconds long or if it's literally a piece of camera of us saying we couldn't be bothered making a video this week. The point is to film and upload something, because by doing that repeatedly over and over again, you learn new things, you try new stuff, you get quicker, but really it's practice for what we're trying to do. So why are we so critical of everything we're doing? I think that's the goal we set ourselves, which is why with this video I was like, right, I got to Wednesday evening, I finished a bunch of work, sent it to clients. I was like, right, you got a few hours. It was like 5 o'clock and I was like, I'm gonna go home, have my dinner, and then I'm gonna apply 2 to 3 hours maximum to shoot and edit this video. And I did. And I uploaded it before I went to bed that night and was at my shoot the next day all chuffed with myself. Except as soon as it went live at 7 o'clock, our buddy Mel Whitmore messaged me and was like, did you spell lose incorrectly on purpose to wind me up? And I was like, fuck. And I wrote,
that's such a terrible mistake.
It was, because it said,
that's a proper
and it was on the thumbnail and the caption, and it said use it to loose it. And I was like, oh no. So I didn't have the bloody thumbnail at home at this time, so I had to bodge it on Photoshop in the computer at home and then re-upload it at 4 minutes past 7 like a dick.
That's all right. You know what, I don't think anyone noticed. I didn't notice.
Yeah.
But what's interesting, I found out of all of that, is that Mal was waiting at 7 p.m.
Cheers, Mel.
To go, is he, let's see what these fuckers are doing.
Yeah, one of these two
look, they're spelling things wrong. Yeah. Spelling things wrong.
Well, if that's anything, that tells me that Mel's at least got his notifications on, which I appreciate. Hit the bell for notifications when we post new videos.
Exactly. I mean, so number one fan, Mal. There we go.
But so I think that's been kind of good, and I think what was really interesting, if you go and watch the 2 videos that we've made, I was quite amazed at how, I mean, not amazed, that's maybe a big word. It was vaguely interesting that you and I went down the same route of couldn't be fucking bothered, made the video as literal as possible, looking for the idea of the video.
That's one thing I kind of appreciate, is it's all very meta, isn't it?
Yeah.
It's very self-aware. And then because yours was a lot longer than mine, as it were. But I didn't because you copied that from an old Instagram story, right? Yeah. And so I thought that was really funny. And then the longer your video went on, the more meta it got. Yeah. And it was like, oh, it's very self-aware. It's very taking the piss out of itself. And it's also going, this actually, the whole situation of doing this is just ridiculous. Yeah. But my biggest disappointment is that your ideas book wasn't the book that Dunner gave you.
I can't, the Dunner book, I can't even find the Dunner book. Don't know where it is. I filled it.
You filled it with all your ideas.
Yeah, I did actually.
And then lost it.
I did.
You should have been searching for that book.
Yeah, I should have actually.
That's what you should have been doing.
That's exactly what I should have been doing. But I would never have found it. Yeah. No. I changed it slightly. When I did that Instagram story, it was I was affected, and the thing with it was a lot of it was almost shot for shot what I did in Instagram. But the difference was when I climbed onto the roof in my Instagram story, same roof, same ladder, everything. The bit of paper was like enthusiasm. So, but in the Instagram story, I was talking straight to the viewer. So I was like, "Oh my god, do you ever get one of those days where you just can't find it?" And I keep talking like that, and then when I eventually get it, I open the bit of paper up and I show the camera, and I'm like, "When you can't find your enthusiasm." So this one was the difference in this one for me is I didn't talk to the character to the viewer. I made it, you were just watching what was happening and what I was going through, and then right at the end, I break that fourth wall by addressing the camera right at the end when I find...
I think that's what's really interesting about this whole challenge thing is that, and I know you said this before, you can get so trapped in telling people what's going on, like to camera. It's like you walk into a room, you go, "Hey guys, I've just walked into the room." You're like, we know. Yeah. But because you're in that vlogging or, kind of just telling people what you do, it's really, it's actually quite refreshing to not have to explain anything. Yeah. And so when you do that at the end of your video, it's a very calculated sort of scene or choice, as it were. Because that's what I've really enjoyed about all these other videos is that you're just talking to yourself, or you're talking to an interviewee or interviewer, like in my last video, or you're just telling a story, which I thought was just really interesting. Is that you don't need to tell everyone what you're doing all the time. And it's so hard not to do that. Because in my initial video, I was going to actually vlog the way I was going to do it. Yeah. And talk to the camera. And I thought, why do I want to... I don't need to do this. Yeah. I don't need to tell people what I'm doing. I thought it'd be funnier just to kind of just see my thought process. Yeah. Like kind of talking out loud. Because the thing is, I probably would have done not dissimilar to that anyway. Yeah. When I'm trying to find something or trying to get ready
I imagine
for a
that's
shoot
exactly how it would have gone. Yeah.
Yeah, just fuck. What's the point? Can't be bothered. Where is it? Right, that's it. Everything out the window. Yeah.
And what was interesting was like we both did that. Like we both mic'd ourselves up with a lav mic, and we both talked to ourselves about the process of how stupid this was that we couldn't find this thing that we were looking for.
I think the real thing was that we were just actually describing the process of how we just couldn't really think of a proper idea for a video.
Yeah.
So we'll just go, you know what we'll do?
Yeah.
I can't make a video, so let's document in a fake way what I think I want to do.
Yeah.
Or something that doesn't actually exist. Because that's the other thing as well. At least you found something. I didn't find anything.
No,
because you know what? There was nothing to find.
Yours ended, but I think that was a good representation of us as human beings. Like, I've always described myself as a pessimistic optimist. So, like, my general outlook on life is quite optimistic, but my day-to-day, I don't know, like, output is very pessimistic. So I'll complain the entire way while I'm doing something, but I always want to get it done in the end. I always want to. I don't mind complaining. I don't mind people whinging and bitching and complaining about stuff. I like that. But at the end of it, it's like, but we need to get the thing done that we need to do. Whereas yours was like, fuck the world, lying on the floor. Which I was like, that is so Ryan. Right at the end there, just like, nah, can't be bothered.
You know what? The funny thing about that is, I've been, again, that was another shot I just wanted to do. Because I was like, oh, actually, and it sounds weird, but I really like the floor in my studio. And now I've got that big, that wide lens, that was it, the 12 to 24.
Yeah.
And so I shoot a lot of my stuff now with that, because I think it's such a great lens. And I was like, how high can I get the camera in the room? Like, and that was about as high as I could go on a 12 mil, I think it was. And so, I had that on one of those, what are they? The newer light stands, the big metal ones that are just ridiculously heavy and shouldn't be used for anything really. So I just shoved that on the end of a camera, or the camera on the end of that, and that was it. And I was like, that's the shot I wanted. And actually, as a thumbnail, far as thumbnails go, I was like, that is exactly what I wanted. Yeah. It's just like, oh my god, what is the point?
It was a nice thumbnail. I did like the thumbnail.
I've decided now, because you're a graphic designer and you understand text and everything. I don't like putting text on thumbnails. It kind of defeats the object in my brain, because I'm like, that picture for me just represented everything. And I was like, I don't need to explain, because I was thinking to writing, in a similar style to you, because I don't know what else to do. Just going, fuck it all. Or just, it's not worth it. Something like that. Which is like nice and clickbaity or whatever you want to do. And it's just like, you know what? It doesn't matter. No, I don't want to do that. I just want to have, I think if a thumbnail should be good enough on its own to entice a viewer to watch it, right?
Sometimes. I would agree that there's times, I don't think yours needed anything. I think your video depicted the scene pretty well, so you didn't need it. I've always looked at thumbnails. Sorry, I used to struggle with thumbnails ages ago, and then sort of came around to this idea that thumbnails are kind of like a poster in the cinema. But again, that really only applies to using little quotation marks, short films. All right, like shorts, not shorts. Oh, see, that's short film things and things like that. That's really what that's for. I think if it's like a vlog, you can literally just write the word vlog 46 on it. I don't really think it matters. But if you can get it across and you nail the thumbnail, you shouldn't need text. No, I just enjoy designing the thumbnails and putting them together. Which is kind of cool.
I hate all of that. I like getting the photo. I hate doing the description. I hate researching for hashtags. It kind of ruins the magic of making the video. It's like, I've done this really nice video or something that I had to do as a challenge and put it up there, and it's like, and now you want me to make a thumbnail and do a description and cater to the algorithm. I'm like, absolutely not.
That would be like someone making a feature-length film for the movies though, and then just never doing the posters, never doing the advertising, never sending it to the cinemas.
To be fair though,
working out
when you do that as a movie, I really don't think Steven Spielberg is sitting there going, right, now I've done the movie, spent the last 4 months doing that, now I'm going to sit down with Canva and make a poster for it.
No, he's not. He has some mug doing it for him. And he's not doing it on Canva. But yes.
You know what I mean, though? That's not his job.
But which one about...
And it's not his job to do all the copywriting.
Relative scale, though. But it is. But he will manage... He will have input in that. I think maybe he doesn't. Who knows? He's probably...
he'll look at it and go,
very high level. Lads, make a poster for that. E.T. Just put him on a bike past the moon or some shit like that. Yeah, relative scale. What was the most difficult bit about that video for you?
The most difficult bit,
Like of the
actually
whole
coming
process.
up with, you know, what was really interesting, and is that the first time round, and I think, well, obviously you must have done this as well because you did that poem. It was very scripted, very like, I know exactly the lines I'm going to do.
Yeah.
99% or 90%. Yeah. So obviously stuff would have changed last minute and you kind of ad-lib just a few lines, but generally it's all there.
Yeah.
This was just an idea to get from A to B A to C, and then I had to put all this B in the middle.
B-roll.
And I hadn't scripted any of it. No, not wanky B-roll or B-roll in any way. And I knew that I wanted to have all these bits of me going, fuck it, can't find it, do all this, do that. But I hadn't actually really planned it out.
Yeah.
So I was just like, I was literally looking around the room going, what can I, right, boxes, let's throw all them on the floor. What would I say to that? And given the amount of time I had, it looked fine, you know, and the bar on the internet is so low. It's like, it was fine, right? But I didn't feel comfortable without that level of preparation.
Yeah.
And when I'm doing, like if I do Instagram stories, there's a difference. And we've spoken about this before, is that you can do an Instagram story and you can just hash your way through that. It doesn't really matter. And it's quite easy to, especially if you're recutting it on Rush, you go, don't need that.
Yeah.
Just telling a story of how I one wheel from A to B, easy. But with this, it's like, it's the same principle, but because you're shooting it properly with a bigger camera and all that sort of stuff, and it's going on YouTube, on the internet for a challenge, you're like, I just felt it was kind of, it was lazy, and it wasn't really the way I wanted to do it. And I find doing these challenges and because I want to make these videos kind of like I would for a client.
Yeah.
Because because I'm so used to doing stories which are just effectively throwaway.
Yeah.
Most part, no one really cares, no one really watches them, so it doesn't matter. But with these, I'm like, well, why can't I just treat myself like a client for once?
Yeah.
And so script out, actually storyboard it a bit. And I know that we've got a very small amount of time, so there's not a lot of time to do that. But I just didn't, I felt I did myself a disservice by not doing that. But again, at the same time, we literally had, I was busy. I literally had a couple of hours, 3 hours maybe, of a window like you did to actually get it done. Mm-hmm. So it's nice to know that you can get it done, even at a lower level than you want, because like we're talking about perfection and everything. But I do think it makes me feel more comfortable. And I think you get a better video when you actually sort of sit down, write it all out, script it a bit, write lines because I'll have lines in my head. I'm like, I really want to write that. Then I'll forget it.
Yeah.
And then I won't bring it up in the video.
What
I normally do is...
How much time do you put into visually, like that, using that video, how much time do you, and just like a percentage wise, to visually getting those things right? In terms of things like focus, framing, and exposure.
Well, one of the things I did this time was, because this room generally, as long as you're shooting away from the window...
San Antonio?
No, when you're shooting away from the window, generally you can keep it all at like, I don't know, what, shutter 100, or you can set up the camera on manual and then it's fine.
Yeah.
And then there's a few shots in there that were a bit darker because I was facing a slightly... I didn't care though. It was like, I'd found my settings and I didn't really change them at all. What I do find with the autofocus is that I would turn that on and off depending on the shot I was doing, because the mistake I made in the last video is I didn't have the bloody what's it called, monitor on. And that screen on the A7S III is so small I can't see what's going on. So I always had to have the monitor like literally right next to me and go, right, is that in focus? Great. Or I have to put things in place to make sure I'd walk into focus.
As you say that now, I look at my camera and I'm like, are we even in focus at all here?
Yeah, because the autofocus on it is great, but there are certain times when you want to do certain things. Like when I walked across the room, I wanted to walk into focus, and it doesn't pick you up properly, and it does this. What am I doing?
How weird is that? Because I did a shot where because I'd be the same. I shoot primarily on autofocus, but I stuck it on manual for shots that I need, and I had a shot where exactly that. There's a shot in where I walk up. I don't really address the camera, but I walk up to the camera. And it hits me in focus. But that was all about tracking, working out where the focus point is, switching it to manual, walking out, and then walking straight up to that spot. How weird is that? We did the same thing.
Well, it's because, and I don't know if you did, because usually you walk from out of camera So there's nothing, it has no reference point. Then you walk in as a reference point. It's going, oh, what's going on here? Are they walking up to the camera? Oh, they're walking up to the camera. They've done their thing, and now they walk off. And then it goes, well, where's it gone?
Yeah.
And then it all kind of and I hate that thing, and I see it in a lot of vlogs where someone will walk into camera, and then as they walk out, it goes,
Yeah.
And I know it's a real pernickety little thing, but I really don't like that. I think it looks really amateurish, and I know we're talking about a vlog and it doesn't really matter, but I think as a video creator online, that's not something you should let slide.
I think it's got a place, though.
Personally,
I think it has a place.
Yeah.
Like, for example, I think where people get it wrong, and this is where I think it's a lot of it, I feel like it's come from Casey Neistat again. Casey Neistat would have been good at it because he'd have set away. Yeah, the guy who literally made Van's videos, he would have had a shot, like a wide shot of a street, and his focus point would have been, say, center based, and it would have been right down the background, focused on something happening in the street. So you as a viewer would be watching what's happening in the street in New York. Then he would walk in from the side, and the focus would ramp up to where he is, zip, and it would lock on his face. And for me, that's calculated, and that has a purpose. Here's the street, here's the setting, understand where we are, setting your scene, and then bang, hi, it's Casey in shot. But the thing is, then everyone just does that. So now it's like everyone doing a vlog just has a shot in their living room, or wherever the fuck they are. Sometimes that's against the wall. And I think unless that is a dramatic enough focus shift and it has a purpose, it's weird. So I agree with you on that. Yeah. I think it's like, I'm not saying I don't do it, because I do it a lot.
No, we all do it. And there's, you've got a time factor, and you've got the fact no one else is shooting with you, and you've just got that one time to do that shot, and you've just done it, and you're like, the take was great, focus at the end was a bit off, who cares? Yeah. But what I would do probably is I would cut earlier, because I wouldn't want to see that, unless, like you say, it was you do it on purpose. Yeah. And I think a lot of people I don't think they're even...
I don't think people are thinking about it. Thing? I think the thing is, I think it's become accepted and no one cares anymore. It's like that, because I would be like, that's just what the camera does. And I think if I'm doing a vlog, it's like, I haven't got fucking time to set that up. It's just me talking to camera for 2 seconds. So I think it's a time and place.
But it goes back to like wanting to treat these videos a bit more like a client video. Yeah. Which is like, there's no way in a client video, well, I say no way, 90% of the time, I wouldn't let that go. I wouldn't have that in the final video. Either I'd put B-roll over it, a bit of wanky B-roll, or you'd cut early, or you'd crop. You'd do something to make sure that wasn't there, because for a fact the client's going to go, oh, what happened at the end of that shot? Yeah. And you're going to be like, well, you walked out the shot, and it's a cool YouTube thing where everything goes out of focus and it makes you look like you don't know what you're doing. Yeah. Really? Yeah. It doesn't look that great.
It's a bit like the smash cut.
Promote my brand.
It's like smash cut.
Yeah, but that's the other thing. The smash cuts as well. But see, that's another misunderstood thing, because I was actually doing an edit the other day, and that flow thing you got in Final Cut, where if they're not moving too much, you can put that transition on, and it looks, you can like cut out ums and ers and gaps and that sort of thing. There was one in this thing I was doing, and it was like, it just looked crap, because his face from like here up to here, and you're just like, you can't get away with that, and it all meshes. But weirdly, if you just put a jump cut in, it kind of looked okay. Yeah. But it got picked up and noticed, and I was like,
yeah, I know, I've noticed that as well.
It actually looks fine.
Yeah, it looks fine. Spot on.
And it was a zoom call as well. So it's not like, it was a perfect 4K, cinematic interview sequence. Yeah. It was like on a Zoom call, so you could easily be forgiven to think, oh, the internet cut out, or it went, so I thought it looked okay, but
weirdly, I've had clients pick up on jump cuts as well, when I've been like, that's totally fine. So what I do now is, if I think if it's a client like that, I'll just drop a fade to black. Just a little dip in and out. Anyway,
that's what's weird. People prefer that, and I think that looks really weird, because if you think technically a fade to black, if you're going to go in cinematic terms, is actually shows a passing of time, and that is weird in an interview. So why would you have a passing of time?
I think it's. I think it's okay if it's a change of topic in the interview.
Yeah, it should be a fade to white, really, like a flash, as opposed to fade to black. I mean, this is bullshit. It just doesn't matter.
All fades matter.
Wanky B-roll over it.
Here, I said to someone the other day, I got asked to do a job, and it was like for a drinks brand, and then the client was like, "Yeah, we just want to do this." They sent me some videos of some swishy YouTubey videos of the stuff, and I said to the guy, like a wanky B-roll video. He goes, what? And I was like, oh, wanky B-roll. And he's like, wanky B-roll? I was like, yeah, it's just a wanky B-roll video. We can do that, no problem. And then when I get to the shoot, he goes, he actually uses that phrase back to me in an official thing. And he goes, right, so we'll do the piece of cameras, and then you can do, and he says it wrongly, you can do your B-roll wank videos. And I went, that's a completely different video, fella. Wanky B-roll. And he's still knee down a t-shirt. Right, look, I am on 4% battery. Because
okay, fine.
You know, that's how well prepped we are for today's show. So this
you
week's
gotta go
topic.
and do a shoot anyway. So.
I have to go to a shoot in a minute. Yeah, this week's topic is a little bit different. Well, it's a little bit different because of the way shit happened. Ryan and I had a chat. We talked about a random topic. Haven't discussed what we're going to do for it, but we've decided that the topic for this week, it has been pulled out of the hat, but it's not been done now. So we've already got the topic because we need to think about it over the weekend. I've done no work on it. But do you want to enlighten the users on what the topic is for this week? Or?
Well, we were having a chat about things, and I can't remember how it came about, but we decided basically how funny it would be to do reviews on things we know nothing about. So this week, we're going to do a potato review. Yeah. That's the topic, potato review. Potato
review, son.
Potato review.
So potato review.
Review. There we go. That's the topic for this week.
Which is
I can't wait for that.
Fucking ridiculous. Yeah,
well, it's brilliant.
It's gonna be good fun.
It's brilliant.
So I'll probably do that.
We could elaborate
Wednesday
on it more,
evening.
but we've only got 4% battery. So yeah.
Yeah, well, 3% now.
Doesn't matter.
Turns out
we'll talk about.
It looks like the A7S3, just out of interest, runs about just outside of a percentage per minute. So 33 minutes. Yeah, and I had 33% battery when we started. We're on 3%, so roughly 1% to every minute if you're shooting 4K 25. But there you go. Potato review. That's what we're going to do this week. Check out last week's videos if you haven't. You've listened to this whole thing. I don't think we gave too much away. Do subscribe to both of our YouTube channels if you aren't already. Appreciate the support. Hit the bell, all that sort of shit. It really does help.
Smash the like button. Is that what we do?
But
we
more
still
importantly,
smashing it? Are we tapping it?
Yeah.
Just tap it.
Just
tap
caress
it.
Tap. If you do like the videos on our channel or this one, do us a favor and share them on your socials.
Yeah.
Because it's really difficult to get people to watch stuff.
Especially when it's not a tutorial. But maybe it will change this week. If we do a potato review / tutorial, maybe we'll have a whole load of potato fans.
Anyway, look, thanks for watching this video. Thanks for watching our other videos. Appreciate the support. That's us for another episode of this.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We'll chat to you next week.
Yeah. Take it easy, peeps.
All right. Bye.
Peeps.
Peeps. Oh, that's
Sweet
awful.
baby Jesus. Here, do you want to...
let me clap you. Clap
me, baby.
There we go. That's
tasty.
It good.